Hi guys, welcome to my first video of this year. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time because I wanted to talk to you about my favorite series. It falls in the fantasy genre, and usually when I talk to somebody about this genre, I get a lot of comments like, "Oh, fantasy, it's magic and it's fairy tales, it's just for children," and comments like that. But I would like to say that it's so much more than that. Yeah, it is magic, and there is a lot of magic, and there is a lot of factors which will interest children. But I feel that it will interest the child in all of us. And fantasy is a genre which has got the most detailed world building, which has got amazing storytelling by authors. And you have to let your mind free. You have to let your imagination go wherever the author wants it to. So it's like an escape, I feel. And so fantasy is my favorite genre, one of my favorite genres. And this is my all-time favorite series. It's called The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. This one, this series. Yeah. So, okay, got slightly distracted by the books. Where was I? Yeah. So, The Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan is what I'm going to talk to you today. And it was written in 1990. The first book, The Eye of the World, was written in 1990. And it was supposed to be a 6-part book series, okay? But it was so beautiful and it was received so well that it went on to 14 books. And Robert Jordan wrote 11 of them. And unfortunately, he passed away after writing the 11th. But he had written such detailed notes and such copious notes that his wife took up the project along with the publisher, and they got another brilliant author called Brandon Sanderson to write the rest. So there are 14 books in total, and written beautifully, written so well, written so amazingly. I'll just take you through the bare story, the bare framework of the story. So this story is set somewhere, I would say, in the late Middle Ages, and it is set in a land which has got a lot of kingdoms and people saying there are different kinds of people in different parts of the land and all that. So there is a general myth in the land that 3,000 years before, there was a huge battle. There was a huge battle between the powers of the Creator and the powers of the Dark Lord. And the forces of the Creator were called Aes Sedai. They were men and women who could channel the one power, and they could use that power. And the male Aes Sedai are the ones who destroyed and defeated the Dark One, and they imprisoned him in a prison and they sealed it. But what happened was, in the process, the Dark One, the Dark Lord, he tainted the power. He tainted the source of the power. And all the male Aes Sedai went mad and they destroyed the world. So that is what has happened 3,000 years before. But the prophecies say that someday, many centuries later, there will be the Dark One. The Dark One will rise again. The seals on his prison will be broken and he will rise again. But there will also be the dragon who is reborn. So dragon is the title which was given to the leader of the male Aes Sedai. His name was Leus Therin Telemon, and he was called the dragon. So the prophecy states that the dragon will be reborn, and the dragon will either make or break the world. So both the powers of the shadow and the powers of the Creator want the dragon on their side. Okay, dragon reborn. So that is the prophecy. And the Dark Lord also has 13 powerful people on his side who can channel the one power. They call themselves the Forsaken. That is the myth in that land. So all the people believe that this has happened according to prophecies. It might happen again, and they all lead their lives. But there are female Aes Sedai even now, and the female Aes Sedai are they're based in a place called Tar Valon, and they have a leader called the Amerlin Seat. And the Aes Sedai are at the same time respected, feared, hated, depending on who is facing them, because they are respected by leaders of kingdoms, by the kings and queens who take them on as advisors. They are feared by the common man who does not know what they can do with the power, because they can channel And Aes Sedai never age. They remain calm and they don't have emotions on their face, but they're women who can, channel power. So it's like damn cool. And then, so what happens is, okay, so when the story starts, I get very, very, taken up by the Aes Sedai. Anyway, so when the story starts, we are at a place called Two Rivers, which is a small village in one corner of this whole land. Okay. And the villagers are getting ready to celebrate this festival called Beltane. And on the eve of Beltane, on the eve before Beltane, two strangers land up there. One is an Aes Sedai called Moraine, and the other is her warder called Lan. So each Aes Sedai has a warder. He is like a bodyguard cum companion, and they have an unbreakable bond between them, which breaks only when one of them dies. And so they can sense where the other person is, they can sense the emotions of the other person. So every single Aes Sedai has a warder. So Lan and Moraine land up there because they have been on a quest for the dragon reborn, according to some information that they have got. For the past 2 decades, Moraine and Lan have been on the search for the dragon reborn. And there are other Aes Sedai who want to capture the dragon reborn and put him under their control, because they feel that only a dragon who is controlled by the Aes Sedai can save the world. But Moraine and Lan, along with the Emerald Seat, they know that the dragon should be left alone. He should just be guided. He should not be controlled. So Moraine is on the lookout for the dragon, and she has identified this village. After 20 years, she has identified this village and realized that the dragon reborn is from here, and he is one of 3 boys in that village. It can be Rand al'Thor, Mat Cawthorn, or Perrin Ibarra. And there are 2 women, there are 2 girls there called Egwene Alver and Nynaeve Almera, who are girls who can channel the one power. So when Moraine reaches there, she realizes there are these 2 girls who have so much of the power in them and they are not aware of it. So on the night of Beltane, the Trollocs attack that village. Now, the villagers had always thought of Trollocs as creatures from stories, as creatures of the Dark One from stories. But that night, Trollocs actually attack that village. And it's only Moraine's power which saves them. And so that night she tells Rand, Mat, Perrin that they have to move away from the village because one of them is a dragon reborn. And as long as the dragon reborn is there, the powers of the shadow will keep attacking that village. So these 3 boys, and then these 2 girls, Egwene and Nynaeve, are also given the choice because Moraine wants them to come to the tower of the Aes Sedai, the White Tower, and get trained as Aes Sedai. So these 5 youngsters, along with Moraine and Lan, flee from the village that night. And Moraine wants to find out who the dragon is and to have him fight the Dark One. So by the end of the first book, we realize who the dragon reborn is. And we feel so sorry for him because he is this very young, naive boy who does not want to be a dragon, who does not want to have anything with the one power. Because since the power of the male Aes Sedai was tainted, whichever man channels the power will go mad. And that has been happening over the ages. So in that land, any man who can channel, because men who show signs of channeling, of using the power, they go mad. They have been seen to go mad, or they are hunted down by others. And so it's very sad. And time again, there comes somebody who claims he's the dragon reborn, who has a bit of power. And that person is captured by the Aes Sedai and he's stilled, or rather his powers are taken away from him. So Rand, Mat and Perrin, along with the 2 girls, Egwene and Nynaeve, they go with Moraine, and they, like I said, at the end of the first book, you find out who the dragon is. And he is marked. There's a dragon which appears on his picture of a dragon which appears on his skin, So there are different factors like that. According to the prophecies, there are different signs and indications which will happen to the dragon, which will show the world who the dragon truly is. So there are these prophecies which are written down and which have been passed on through the ages. And over the next couple of books, over the next 13, 14 books, we realize how each part of the prophecy is fulfilled. So I'll tell you one more prophecy which comes true over the next couple of books, which is that the Stone of Tyr will be invaded. Now, Stone of Tyr is a castle, it's a fortress which cannot be invaded. It's impregnable, okay? And over the years, nobody has been able to invade. So generally, the people in Tyr do not believe in all that, but that is the prophecy, that the dragon will take this magical sword called Kalendor from the Stone of Tyr, and that comes true. So in this way, you find that the conditions that are laid down in the prophecy are all coming true. But another thing is, the dragon is not welcomed by everybody, because there is also a part of the prophecy which says that the dragon will break the world. So there are some people who feel that the dragon has to be destroyed before he can do all that. So there is this huge tussle going on. And then there are these Forsaken. I've told you, there's 13 people, Forsaken, who are around. And so one by one, the dragon overcomes the Forsaken. It defeats the Forsaken. Not easy when so many things are happening. And so this is what is happening over the books. And it's a beautifully detailed storytelling. And so many characters, so many different characters. I think there are like 2000 named characters in this book, over the series, not in one particular book, but over the series, okay? And I don't know, I have fallen totally in love with this. And right now I'm reading the 8th one, Path of Daggers. I think this is the 4th or 5th time that I'm reading the entire series. I just keep going through it. Once in a while, I just keep going through it. And it's very comforting. For me, I think it's very comforting also. Even though I know everything that is going to happen, I mean, each time I find something different. And of course, in the middle, I think towards the 6th and 7th books, there's a bit of a drag, because there's so much of detail, But once you take it in that sense, that you are being shown another world, it's just part of that. It's just part of the narrative. It just becomes part of the narrative. So that is the Wheel of Time series. And now I'll just tell you a bit about the main factions in this. So one is the Dragon Reborn and his people, okay. Then there is this people called the Isle. Isle are a race of people who are in the desert, and they do not cross the spine of the world. There are these mountains called the spine of the world, and they do not cross it and come this side. They've come only once, okay, because something was taken from them by a king. They came to take it back, and they wreaked havoc, because they are very martial, and they are extremely efficient and ruthless soldiers. And Isle are a society which have got both men and women who are soldiers. And the women, the clan of women who are soldiers are called Fardarismai. They have their own rules and, way of doing things. And so Isle are a very completely different set of people, but they apparently, according to the prophecies again, the dragon is supposed to be an Isle, and they call themselves the people of the dragon. So that's the Isle, who are people of the desert. Then we've got the Shanchan. The Shanchan are descendants of a great general and his army who had fled the mainland during the Trolloc Wars. And these people live across the Arid Ocean. And the Shanchan are a very rigid society. And they believe in slavery. Of course, it's not written as slavery, but they believe in subjugating others and making them totally suppressing them. It reminds us of a lot of, imperialistic monarchies, actually. I mean, the Shanchan believe in pure bloodlines, and so they are coming across the ocean to the mainland to subjugate everybody there, to defeat everybody there. So that's the Shanchan who are coming. Then there are the sea folk, people of the sea who are, who have their own ships, and they are the ones who control all the trade in the sea. They are the Atanmir. The Atanmir have also believed that the dragon reborn, or the Koramur, is going to be in some way determining their fate and their destiny. So there are these different kinds of, this is just bare minimum, okay? I mean, there's so much more about them and so many more different kinds of people. That's what I said, the world building is so vivid and rich. So this whole series, Wheel of Time series, is captivating. I have only one thing to say: do not watch the Wheel of Time series on Amazon Prime. They have managed to suck out every good thing out of the series. It's like the essence has been taken out, and there are cardboard cutouts which are there, which is just going through the motions. They have changed major character arcs. They've changed major characters. So it was such a disappointment. So do not watch it. Read the first one. Read the first one of the Wheel of Time series, Eye of the World. See if you like it, and then slowly proceed. I found it so amazing. If there's any great series that you love, tell me. I'd love to read that also. So you know, read. Just keep reading, yeah, please. I mean, you guys have got to read. It'll see you through a lot of things in life. Go on, read anything that is around you, anything that you get your hands on. It is a very hot day in Cochin today. So I think I deserve an ice cream. So while I go and have an ice cream, you guys go and find out about the world that Robert Jordan has created, the Wheel of Time series. Get your hands on the first one on the series. Go to the library, get it from there, buy it, do whatever, go to your local bookstore, tell them you want it, get your hands on that and start reading. And write to me about any series that you love. So till we meet again the next time, bye-bye.